So when approaching the question of climate change, my first concern for the forest sector was, where does the sector stand today? The forest sector is the second most exposed sector to climate risk. And in the same report, Standard & Poor's says that the forest sector is among the least prepared to respond, adapt to the climate change. So Bernard de Galembert, I'm the director of the Forest Solutions Group in the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. Climate change comes with many, many risks and challenges. Not only the biotic impacts of climate change in terms of pests, diseases that do lead forests to decay and die, but also abiotic risks such as droughts, rains, rainfalls, windstorms, etc. All these are putting forests under huge pressure. Will the wood we use today be still the same we will use tomorrow or the day after tomorrow? If we look around, we see that many broadleaf forests have been seriously impacted in Central Europe. We see as well that on the west coast of Canada in the United States, the mountain bark beetle has been devastating the coniferous forests. So will the industry have to move? Will the sourcing take place in a different manner? Will the industry have to choose different species to produce the same materials and the same products in the future? That's the key question that climate change is posing today. To my surprise, when doing a bit of research, I've seen that some species were probably more able than others to adapt to climate change. Can we help this adaptation? Can we support it? Can we accompany it? Can we accompany, I would even say, the migration of trees from their current stand to their future stands? Whether eucalypt that grows currently in Portugal or in Brazil or Spain will eventually be growing in France or Germany, etc. This is something that must be reflected upon and prepared. It won't come naturally, and that's something that needs to be planned with the forest sector, with scientists, with research centers, with the forest owners, and obviously the companies. Also, some work has been done into biotechnologies and genetical improvement of species to make them either drought resistant or flood resistant, or even allowing them to be watered with salted water rather than rainwater, etc., allowing for possibly an additional uptake of water that is not necessarily the usual one for forest. So overall, biotech and innovation can be part of the solution. I think the forest sector has massive opportunities to be gained from climate change. So it sounds weird because climate change is seen as a threat in general, in terms of carbon removal, in terms of storage of greenhouse gases, etc., but also because wood as a raw material is a fantastic opportunity, especially in the construction sector. Because of the insulation benefits, because of, let's say, both the cooling and warming benefits it can provide, but also because of its technological resistance to temperature variations, to earthquakes, to catastrophes, etc. And so that's where I see possibility for the sector to gain, provided it has adapted rapidly and taken on board the challenges as well as these opportunities. The mindset is more or less there. It's a matter of reconciling, indeed, competitiveness and sustainability. We've seen the balance shifting from competitiveness increasingly to sustainability, maybe, and for some, going a bit too much into sustainability and losing sight of the competitiveness element. Now, the global context in which we're operating is bringing the balance back, hopefully not to the other extreme. And so the matter of the fact is now to really try to make sure that competitiveness and sustainability work hand in hand. It's also time for the sector to consider reuse, recycling, upcycling of existing raw materials. So that means also thinking the design of the product in a way that can be reused, can be recycled, can be upcycled. What we see is that global warming takes place much faster than anticipated. So again, that puts pressure in terms of providing the right response. Drawn from those statements from Standard & Poor's is that the forest sector needs to act now. It needs to plan, it needs to take the measures to mitigate climate change, adapt, and make sure that it will be thriving in 20, 30, or 15 years from now.